Have Thor Bjornsson pulls 1,000 pounds on his build-up to the Arnold Strongman Classic. Right, we've just got done watching this video. We're going to talk about the actual deadlift that Thor has done in this video, but also talk about what it might mean leading up towards the Arnolds and potentially later in the year. Obviously, there's always been that big battle of like, Eddie was the first man to do 500 kilos. No one can deny that. It was an incredible lift. Thor came in at the 501 during lockdown. Lots of kind of speculation of it wasn't in competition. Lots of comments. Some people, you know, really respecting it. Other people kind of putting it down. Thor retires from Strongman, goes into boxing, but recently announces he's coming back into Strongman. And at first you think, okay, he's going to come back. He's going to dip his foot in. It's not going to, you know, he's not going to commit to full Thor. He just sort of wants to do Strongman. Sod that. The man is back. He is in full Thor throttle. He's weighing 191 kilos. So his body weight seems to be creeping up all the time.
Yeah.
He's just pulled 1,000 pounds in training. He says this is the first time in 4 years that he's pulled this kind of weight. We'll go into that in a second. I know you've got quite a few things to talk about with the video. But just in the distance, I'm thinking, I want to see Thor go for the 505 at maybe the Deadlift World Championships. There's, you know, he was on the channel not so long ago and he was talking maybe he does it in a full competition.
Yes, but he was quite clear he wasn't going to do it at the Deadlift World Championships, to be fair to Thor. Now, you can watch that video here, but he talked about his, you know, he wants to do it anyway. He wants to do it for himself. It's great to have a goal. But he does want to shut people up at the same time, doesn't he? Because it must get very, very annoying. I remember talking to Ian Bibby after he lifted a log lift world record, and he said how upsetting it was when people were sort of questioning
the referees.
The lift before that, the record that he had set. And I'm sure it's been the same for Thor as well, having to put up with those comments.
It's hard when it's something that's kind of taken out of your control. Like, you know, when Thor did the 501, sorry, it was meant to be done in competition. It was meant to be done as part of a big event, and unfortunately, COVID got in the way.
Yeah.
Same thing with Ian Bibby. Ian Bibby kind of, well, slightly different, but Ian Bibby broke the record because the referee said down, not because, you know, if you're not told down, you keep pressing, you lock out. And Ian Bibby, as you said, he came back and he smashed the log lift record with a brilliant lift.
So if you're watching this video, you've probably already seen it, but there is a link in the description below. But Thor's video starts, he's with his dad, he's very relaxed, he's quite happy, they're flipping plates. His dad is very impressive as well.
His dad's grip is amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, you know I love grip stuff, and I watch his dad, I'm thinking, I want to go and do some grip stuff with, his dad, because Bjorn, isn't it? Bjorn is his
Bjorn.
father.
Yeah. Which means bear in Icelandic. I learned in the video, yes. Anyway, Thor steps onto the scales. He shows that he's weighing 191. He said that he did get stuck body weight wise at around 185 kilos, but suddenly the weight's coming back on and he's packing it back on.
Well, what did he weigh when we saw him in Dubai for the boxing? Was it about 150, 155 kilos?
It must have been around
I'm pretty sure
that
it was around that for the weigh-in.
Yeah.
And you know, he gets back into Strongman and he was back at 175, 180 pretty quickly. Now he's up at 190.
Yeah.
How big is he going to be for the Arnolds?
Well, he's back to full Thor now.
He is indeed.
And that is evident in his, I think it was a 283 kilo deadlift. He goes for it. He realises his belt no longer fits, so he has to do that beltless. But then he pulls 333 kilos, really nice and smooth, 375 kilos. Then it's not many more jumps. He just does 413 kilos and then straight onto the 454. And it is smooth. It looks good.
And the interesting thing watching Thor, the 413 and the 455 or 454 don't look that different.
No.
He's not someone that kind of like pulls the light weights massively faster. He's very smooth throughout the whole lift. Very, very strong in terms of lockout. I mean, I've seen some big deadlifts from some super strong guys, but they've got that speed off the floor and then it slows down. He's almost kind of smooth through the whole lift, which is actually very beneficial for an event like the Elephant Bar. When I spoke to him about a month ago, he said his goal is just to win the deadlift at the Arnold Strongman Classic.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen comments from him saying he wants the 505. I personally don't think we'll see a 505 at the Arnolds. The reason being, he's got the UK Arnold's 2 weeks after. It's the first event of the competition. He'll want to try and win the whole competition as well, and he's got some stiff opposition in terms of the whole competition. But I think when it comes to the deadlift, he's probably looking like the favourite right now.
Yeah, and he still has a heavy session left to go before the Arnold. Now, I don't feel that he really needs to go any heavier in training. I feel like that lift probably would win the event in the competition right now.
I think around £1,000, I think, is going to win the deadlift. However, it wasn't the first event last year, so we should acknowledge that.
Yeah.
They did the Wheel of Pain beforehand, which is quite a taxing event in terms of leg power, lower body. So I think we'll see better numbers this year.
We will.
But Thor clearly looks comfortable for more.
So in your podcast with him, obviously he was talking about the record, but he said he didn't feel he would be ready for it this year. Maybe it's something he'd consider for next year. Now, he looks like he would be strong enough this year, but is it too big an injury risk doing it so quickly? Because we saw that with the bench press, didn't we?
For any normal human being, yes, it's way, way, way too big a risk. I spoke to, Kidishkovsky. We've got a video about him going out, and he feels he needs a bit more time to get back to his best. Thor is just on another level of freakiness. He just seems to be... I've never seen someone... I mean, there's muscle memory is a very real thing, and if you've been at a certain level, you can usually get back to a certain level fairly quickly. However, the way Thor does it is just beyond anything I've ever experienced or seen before with any athletes. He is just built differently, and he just seems to be growing in confidence. He seems to be enjoying it, which are two really important factors. And I mean, if I'm Thor, I'm thinking... Firstly, I want to do it for me. But secondly, I want to shut people up. I want to show everyone that I've got the record. I mean, there's other guys as well that are in contention. But he's probably the favourite when you look at all the names and you kind of see what they've done in the past. And you see how fast he's getting strong. It is vital, like you say, that he avoids injury, makes sure he comes in strong. And he seems to be going like heavy 1 week in training, lighter the next week, which is probably smart with those kind of weights. You can't keep pounding away at the body. But... yeah, I would be so keen to see that happen. Be interesting to see what you guys think it would take to get Thor to do something like the Deadlift World Championships. What kind of money do you think it would take? Do you think it's possible to see him there? Maybe not this year, but maybe in the future. I'd love to see kind of people reconcile, but Thor is too good an athlete, and don't restrict your own career as well. Get in there, win those titles that you deserve to win or that you're capable of winning. Get in there and make some money. Yeah,
I think though, anyone could put a max deadlift in their competition and offer that opportunity. I think it has to be the right opportunity though. Something like that, it really does deserve quite a bonus, doesn't it?
It deserves, firstly, the payday. Because these guys put their body through great risk. I spoke to Hicksy last weekend. He wants to try and have a crack at the deadlift. Other guys, well, in Payman doing massive lifts. Unfortunately, travel is an issue for him. But there's some huge deadlifters out there. Even Makarov. Lots and lots of fantastic lifters. But Thor has done the 505. He's pulled it.
501.
Sorry. Thor has done the 501 before. 505, 510. What is possible? The numbers. We don't want to see 502. We want to go to 505. Maybe he thinks, sod that, I'm going to do 520 at this rate. But we shall see. First thing though, Thor is definitely back to full Thor. 191 kilos body weight, pulling 1,000 pounds in training for the first time in 4 years' time. We've got about just under a month till the Strongman Classic, the Arnold Strongman Classic in Ohio. That contest is going to be crazy. Lots of fun action on the lead up to that. But for one thing that's sure, Thor is definitely coming to win the deadlift.